All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to the first trading room for this week. Right, it's a Tuesday. It's 7 minutes after 2 on the 19th of May. We are almost there. We are almost there. Welcome back, everyone, to the trading room brought to you by TD Markets Academy. We are gonna get right into it. Excited to be back for the trading room. All right, I hope you guys are ready. I'm looking at the chat. Steve, I can see you. Steven, all the way from Botswana, I can see you there. I can see you there. Peter Mulenga, all the way from Zambia, I can see you there. Obviously, the usual suspects are here as well. All right, hope you guys can hear me. Hope the sound is clear. But maybe do let me know on the chat if the sound is clear, if my mic is audible enough. Maybe please do let me know on the chat. All right, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Silas. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How's the sound, guys? How's my voice, the audio? How is it? Is it clear? Is it is the volume low? Is it too high? Maybe let me know before we get started. It's perfect. 100%, 100%, 100% is perfect. All right, great stuff. I guess we can get it started. But before we do that, before we look at the charts, before we see what's been happening on the charts, on the markets, remember you can open up an account with us, a live account on tdmarkets.com. That is the website. That is www.tdmarkets.com. All right, you can open up yourself an account there. All right, and also remember, don't forget to meet us at the FMUS 2026. All right, that is happening at the but at Cape Town International Convention Center. That is where it's happening. FMUS 26, Cape Town International Convention Center. We will be there. Meet us on the 26th and the 27th. We will be at booth 9. All right, booth 9, TD Markets Exchange, booth 9. That's where we will be, right? So looking forward to see everyone that side. All right, so let's get it started. Let's maybe start with a bit of fundamentals, right? Let's start with a bit of fundamentals and see what's been happening this week. All right, so in terms of the war, guys, right? In terms of the Middle East conflict, nothing has changed really. They're still going back and forth. Nothing has changed really. The markets are reacting. There has not been any peace talk so far. The markets are still, pricing in. There's a bit of uncertainty at the moment. Just let me put it there. There's a bit of uncertainty at the moment. So, in terms of the war, nothing is happening. All right. So we are sticking to the same script. We're sticking to the same script. Let's do this, guys. Just give me 1 second. I just want to make sure that I'm sorted on my end. All right, there we go. Yeah, on my end, I'm sorted. Right, Great stuff. And yeah, so this week is going to be heavily dominated by the technicals, guys, right? There isn't any fundamentals at the moment, but you guys must always keep an eye out, right, for any developments, any updates, anything regarding the war, all right? Anything can change at any time, right? But apart from that, nothing much is happening. Nothing much is happening. In terms of the economic indicators we have for this week, right? On Thursday, we have the Australia's jobs report that's coming out. That is on Thursday. Australia's jobs report is coming out. Tomorrow, we've got the FOMC meeting minutes that are coming out. There's also inflation data from the UK as well as Canada, right? The Canadian CPI is today. The GBP CPI is tomorrow, all right? And then, yeah, we don't have anything pretty much for the rest of the week. So I think in terms of the economic indicators this week, markets are keeping an eye on that CAD CPI, FOMC meeting minutes, as well as Australia's jobs report, all right? So this week is going to be heavily dominated by fundamentals, all right? We're going to kickstart the session. Obviously, we're going to go through some updates, right? Oil has been moving, gold has been moving, the usual charts we spoke about the last time, they've been moving, okay? So we're going to kickstart the session by looking at the DXY. All right, we're going to have a look at the DXY, see what we can anticipate, look at the possibilities we see on the DXY, and then we'll take it from there. All right, I'm going to look at kind of like a longer term view of the DXY, from the daily chart going down to your hourly charts, and then we'll take it from there, right? And also in the meantime, you guys will let me know, you will definitely type in the chats or the charts you guys want me to have a look at. All right, so as I'm going through the DXY, you guys will in the meantime type in the names of the markets you want me to have a look at, and then we'll take it from there. All right, so the DXY is very interesting, guys. The DXY is very interesting at the moment, right? I'm saying that because I'm looking at the bigger pattern on the DXY. There's a bigger structure on the DXY that's forming. There's also an internal structure, all right? So if you take a look at the daily, the weekly time frame, DXY at the moment is trading within this bigger structure, all right? So let me just put the structure lines there. There we go. So this is what DXY is doing at the moment. It's trading within the structure, all right? And we can see that it has been consolidating. There's been trends going up and down. It has been consolidating. But I think what's important right now is where the market is right now, right? The market is trapped inside this consolidation here. This consolidation. We can definitely see that we have had the market rejecting this zone, and then we've had the market rejecting that. So within this bigger structure, we have this consolidation here, or an internal structure, right? So according to this internal structure, the market can either go up or go down because it's currently ranging here, right? There are definitely trends within this structure. There are definitely trends within this structure here, right? If you look at the lower time frames, there's definitely trends. So what we see at the moment, this is what we can see at the moment, right? Obviously the market has not broken out of this. It has not broken out of this. So it can continue bouncing up, bouncing down, bouncing up, but it can continue doing that because it has not broken out. However, with regards to this bigger structure here, right? With regards to this bigger structure here, a breakout we could see is towards the upside, right? Or let me put it this way. If the DXY, you see where it is right now, if it was to go and break above this resistance here, right? Then this move towards the upside, it would be in line with the bigger pattern. It would be in line with the bigger pattern, because look at where the market is. The market is bouncing from the support of the pattern. All right, the market is bouncing from the support of the pattern, not once, not twice, but 3 times, went up, created this range. So DXY is trading in between, basically, right? So if this was to go up and break out, we are definitely going to see strong movements on the dollar, right? We're definitely going to see strong movements on the dollar. Now, as I said, I'm looking at the weekly time frame at the moment. All right. So now, if you go to the lower time frames here, so where it is, guys, right? It can either go up or either go down because it's still trapped. So these are the possibilities. We could see it pushing back down here, or we could see it going back up, right? And someone might say, yeah, but the market is most likely going to do one of the two, right? Which is true. But now you also need to understand what formation is the market trading within, right? What's this? What wave pattern is the market trading in? All right. So at the moment, it is within a range, right? Within a range. And when the market is within a range, these movements, we could still see the market creating the movements it's been creating, or we could see a breakout, right? So that's what I'm trying to say here. So I think with the DXY and the dollar, right, I think the right thing to do here would be just to wait for your setups, right? In terms of the trend that's forming, in terms of the direction that's forming, you would really want to look at or wait for your setups to develop, basically, right? Wait for your setups to develop. So let me go to the 4 hour, right? There's something that I'm seeing on the 4 hour here. It's from the daily and the 4 hour. Okay. Now, this is what price is doing, right? We have created this structure here. The market has created the structure, went down obviously to bounce from the structure, and then it went up. All right. So then it went up to break this structure here. I'm using these lines just to highlight the structure, right? I'm not talking about support and resistance here, just using these lines to highlight the structure. So the market then went up to break the structure. So in fact, there is a structure right here, right? Let me just put it like this. There we go. All right, so this is what we're seeing. So price is coming from this area here, right? Obviously we have bounced from this area. It went up, broke this structure, went up, broke the previous structure. So there's been momentum towards the upside. There's a possibility here, guys, looking at these two structures, there's a possibility that price may try to tap this structure again one more time. All right. There's a possibility that price may try to tap this structure again one more time. So where it is right now, where price is trading at right now, any movements towards the downside, we would anticipate them. We would anticipate the market to come back down to the structure here, to tap the structure, and then from there we'll see. It might come back down in a bullish pattern, or it might come back down in an impulse, basically, right? So any movement towards the downside, it might be a correction, it might be an impulse. We just have to wait and see. All right. So, but then, yeah. So I think it is around 80 or 98.3. We could see DXY trying to come back down and tap this zone 98.3, right? If it doesn't do that, then definitely it will go up, because the idea here would be looking for DXY to come back down, tap this, and then continue going up. That would be the idea. All right. But now if it does not come back down to tap the structure, then it's just going to continue trading towards the upside. You see it. So we could see, maybe just before the month ends, the second half of the year starts, we could see DXY coming back down here, right? And then once it reaches the zone, we'll then come back and reanalyze this to see if it will continue pushing down, or it is bouncing here on that 61.8. It could also be the 61.8 as well. Yeah, it could also be the 61.8. So these are the possibilities on the DXY. All right. These are the possibilities on the DXY. So anticipating one more push down on the DXY, back down to 98.3, and then we'll come back and see what's going to happen there. We'll come back and see what's going to happen there. All right. So just to kickstart the session. So now if you look at the dollar pairs, let me switch to the dollar pairs. All right. If we then look at the dollar pairs, which is let me just find it. There we go. Aha. So then if you take a look at the dollar pairs, let me open them. I don't think anything has changed really on the dollar pairs, right? The dollar changed the structure slightly. Euro USD changed the structure slightly. The last time we spoke, we spoke about the market continue this push back to this structure here, right? The last time we spoke about Euro USD, we spoke about the market continue this back to the structure because price was coming back from testing this zone here. So we had the break, we had a retest of this. Obviously there is the 50% of the Fibonacci as well, and then we went up there, right? So where the market was, we were still anticipating price to go up, but look what happened. Price bounced and then pushed towards the downside. All right, so as I take a look at the DXY here, this is what I'm gonna do now. Sorry, this is Euro USD. All right, this is Euro USD. So obviously it seems like we may not go back to this high as yet, right? So at the moment price is falling. Let me just have a look at the daily, see what we can anticipate from the daily. All right, yeah. So for me personally, I'm looking for a buy, right, on Euro USD. For me personally, I'm looking for a buy in Euro USD. I'm looking at this pattern that's forming here. There's this pattern that's forming. If this pattern fails, then it's all right, right? If it fails, it's all right. But as it is right now, I'm looking for a low to form anywhere just around this zone. I'm looking for a low to form, and if price can just maybe create structure towards the upside, then this is what I want, right? So according to this pattern, you've got this impulsive move up, and then you've got this pattern, right? This is a continuation pattern. So now, you know, how price would react from this pattern is that it would then give us the next impulse move towards the upside. So what we would anticipate is for price where it is right now, anywhere where it is right now, to start pushing towards the upside. All right, so this is a classic example of what an impulsive pattern is, formation, and a corrective formation is, right? So yeah, so I'm keeping a close eye on this area here. I'm keeping a very close eye on this area here, right? If price can just reject, then I would be looking for this move towards the upside. Now, if this pattern fails, right? If this pattern fails, of course, price will then move down. But for it to fail, I want to see a correction form for it to fail. So meaning something like this. I want to see price maybe consolidating here, right? Maybe consolidating like this for me to say, okay, this formation failed, right? Then I would be looking for that, right? So yeah, so at the moment anticipating this move towards the upside here, right? So that's what I'm looking for with Euro USD. Let me look at the chart. USD CAD. Let's have a look at USD CAD. All right, let me see this. Okay, so USD CAD has not completed its formation, right? USD CAD has not completed its formation. So what I'm talking about is this. So it initially rejected the 50 here, right? Or let me take it. There we go. So when this sell-off happened here, it went up and then it rejected the 50 and 61.8 there, giving us a lower high, and then it went all the way down. All right. So then from that fib, you would have definitely anticipated price to come back down to the low it created, which is this low here, right? That is what you would anticipate for price to come back down. Now look what happened here on this low. So price went up, rejected, and then it went back to tap this structure again one more time. It went to tap the structure again one more time, and then it went down. So now we have these two highs, and then we have this low, right? We've got those two highs, and then we have this low right here. Let me do this. There we go. There we go. Cool. So now what I meant when I said it has not completed the move is because, like I said, here you have the two highs, right? So now here we need the second low. We only have the first low at the moment, right? We only have the first low at the moment. We need the second low for the market to complete this formation. This is a well-known formation, right? It's a well-known formation. So now what I would do with the DXY, sorry, this is not the DXY, it's USD CAD. What I would do with the USD CAD is I would draw the Fibonacci as such. I would draw the Fibonacci as such, and then I would keep a close eye on that 1561.8 for some rejection here, right? Meaning I'm anticipating a lower high to form there, right? Around this area, it's almost there. So if we can get a rejection there, then I would definitely look for a push towards the downside. All right. Short term, since price now is going up, let me put back this Fibonacci. Since price is going up, right, this move towards the upside here, this is the area where there could definitely be some activity happening around the zone. So therefore, looking for a rejection around this area, then I'd be looking for a push towards the downside. All right, maybe for now not going all the way to that low, maybe for now coming back to the zone here, coming back to the zone. So yeah, so the rejection around this area, I would look for a move to come back down to the zone, and then we'll see what's going to happen from that zone. All right, so the DXY, yeah, so that's 61.8. This fib, that 61.8 is going to be very important, right? What you must also keep in mind is, you see how these lower highs are forming, right? What you should also keep in mind is, if price fails to reject that 61.8, right? If price was to break above this, then we're gonna then look at this resistance here to see how price will react on the resistance. But as it is now, I would definitely look for a lower high around the zone, and then a push towards the downside. That's what I would definitely do according to this, right? And then we'll see if it will go all the way down back to this area or not. We'll see. All right, but yeah, as it is, this is how I'm looking at USD CAD. All right, great stuff. And then we've got, let's see, Nasdaq, German 30, Euro USD, GBP NZD. Okay, so we have already gone through Euro USD. Nasdaq hasn't changed. Nasdaq remains bullish. All right, it hasn't changed, remains bullish. It hasn't changed, remains bullish. Let me just look at this. Yeah, Nasdaq hasn't changed. It's extremely bullish. All right, extremely bullish. So short term, sorry, let me just go back to the daily and see. On the daily, let me put this. All right. Okay, cool. So now if you take a look at Nasdaq, right, short term, Nasdaq is coming back down to this low, right? We're gonna see Nasdaq coming back down to this low, right? It's gonna tap this low one more time. And I'm also noticing that it's not really going down with a lot of volume and aggression, right? It's basically going down in this channel. So short term Nasdaq, right, is expected to come back down to this low one more time, and then from there we'll look for a support around this area. So the idea would be waiting for this move to finish, and then look for a support around the zone. Look for a support around the zone. All right. Nasdaq could take us back to the previous high. It could take us back to this high. It could take us back to this high there. All right. So yeah, but short term, this definitely seems like it's going back down. So around this zone, we will look for a support here, and obviously look for a push towards the upside. Right. So setups that form around this zone, definitely will be looking for them. So that is how Nasdaq is looking. German 30 hasn't changed. German 30 is still the same. It hasn't changed, right? I think it's done correcting now. So this, we're going up with it now, right? It gave us one more push down. It gave us one more push down, and then it's aggressively pushing up. So German 30 is still the same. Still the same. Let me do this. All right, there we go. Yeah, German 30 is still the same. One more push towards the upside, either back to this high, right? German 30 either is gonna go back to this high, or it's gonna break that high and go back to that high there. So this one, yeah, still the same as the last time. And also US 30 also, right? US 30 also, it hasn't changed, right? It has not changed. Okay, let me leave it there. Yeah, US 30 hasn't changed also, right? So looking for a continuation up, right? The market was going up, gave us a correction again. There was a correction again that formed. So we're looking for a continuation up, right? Remember, I told you guys about US 30 as well as German 30, that, hey, look, these things, it doesn't matter how long they take to push up. It doesn't matter, right? But the structure is very bullish. It may take a month to go up, but once they start moving, according to the current, according to the cycle, according to the waves, the wave it's creating right now, German 30 is going to go up, US 30 is going to go up, just to complete the impulse wave, right? Just to complete the impulse wave. So yeah, so German 30, US 30, that remains the same. Nasdaq also remains the same. Nasdaq hasn't changed. All right. Euro USD, okay, we spoke about that. GBP NZD, let's have a look at GB. The last time I saw GBP NZD, what was going on there? Yo, it's been a while since I saw it. I looked at it. Oh, now I remember. Right, now I remember. So GBP NZD, right, it's still bullish. Again, it's trading within a bullish structure, all right? And with this bullish structure, anticipating it to push towards this zone here, right? There. So it's still bullish. So what's happening right now, right? The trend has not changed. What's happening right now is the market has corrected one more time to that 61.8. That's where it is now. The market has corrected one more time to that 61.8, right, before it resumes. Look at how this weekly candle was, right? There's a strong rejection. There's a strong rejection here. There's a very strong rejection there, right? So this is now how it's looking. So obviously the FIP on the weekly, we got that. Now we just need a break of this, right? If price can just break this channel here, there we go. So this is the correction here that's forming. So here you also have a classic example of the impulse and the wave patterns, basically the impulse and the correction, right? So we've moved, we went up one more time, right? Now price is correcting. We're anticipating a continuation. So that hasn't changed. That definitely hasn't changed. It's still bullish. I'm also noticing here that let me do this. I'm also noticing here that price came back to the zone, right? I'm also noticing here that actually we have a previous support here. We've got a previous support here, so that bounced there. Yeah, no, from here on we're just looking for a continuation. Yeah, just looking for a continuation. So obviously the ultimate target is on that high. That is the ultimate target on that high, right? But now these highs also, they are also targets. This high can be a target, right? Even this high here can be a target, even that high, right? But ultimately, according to this wave here, there's a higher probability chance that price is gonna move back to that high there, back to that high. So yeah, so I think there's a couple of pips one can catch. Yeah, I think that's a good setup. Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's a good setup. The 18th at 4. Yeah, just looking for this continuation. There, back there. All right. Yeah, so that's GBP NZD. That's how it's looking. Simple. Juju, send us an email to care@tdmarkets.com, right? So let me do this for account inquiries. Please send an email to care@tdmarkets.com, right? For account inquiries, please send an email to care@tdmarkets.com. Yeah, I can see there's on the comments, Juju, you say you are struggling to see your MT5 login details. Your MT5, so when you open an account, when you create a real account, even before you fund it, even before you upload your Figure documents, an email is sent to you with the MT5 login details. So the email that you used when you are creating a new account, check, open that email and check, right? The email address that you used, open that and check if you have not received an email with the MT5 login details. If not, then send us an email to care@tdmarkets.com, right? And then you will be assisted. Let me see. So GBP NZD, this where we are. Euro AUD. Let's have a look at Euro AUD. Yeah, GBP NZD, I think this is a solid setup to the upside. I think there's a solid setup. Euro AUD, let's have a look. Euro AUD. The last time it was going down. Okay, yeah, it went down. Okay. Interesting. Euro AUD, what it's doing now is very interesting. So Euro AUD completed the impulse, right, back down to this low. So when it created a lower high here, it went down to complete this impulse by coming back down to this low. All right. So that's why I tell the clients that your take profits, if you're selling the continuation of the downtrend, all right, your take profits, the previous lower lows the market formed on the trend, those lower lows are good for take profits. Now you see what happened here exactly for this. So as we take a look at Euro AUD right now, the question then is this going to form a double bottom? Are we going to get a double bottom? That is the question at the moment, because it is bouncing from the previous low. So there's a possibility that this could create a double bottom. All right. So look at the weekly. The weekly, we have a nice candlestick rejection there. So on this one, what I would do with this specific setup, right, Um, what I would do with the specific setup is I would look at both swing trades as well as, short-term intraday trades, right? My swing trades I would look for, what I would want to do is to wait for the weekly candle to confirm a bullish setup for me. So this is a setup for me, right? This is one of my setups. So now what I would want here is, it doesn't matter on which time frame it forms. What I would want is, after a reversal candle forming like this, right? The next candle, I would want the next candle to close as bullish. So I would want the next candle to close bullish. That is the setup I would take, right? And then look for swings. So to confirm my swing trade, I'm waiting for this candle to close bullish. Then that will confirm my swing trade, right? Maybe back to this high, right? Maybe back to that high. All right. Now for my maybe short term, intraday short term, what I would look for is, let me see what's happening here. Let's go back to the daily. All right. Yeah, let's put it like this. Okay, so for my short-term, intraday trades, what I would want here is, I've identified a zone where we could come back and retest, right? This zone. So I can see on the 4-hour, right? That zone, remember, this zone is on the daily. This is the daily zone, so don't worry about it on the 4-hour. So now I would want something like this, where price could maybe come back for a correction somewhere inside this zone, and then look for a continuation towards the upside, right? Wherever price is going to start correcting, I would want it to correct inside the zone here, right? And then I would look for a higher low, and then look for a push towards the upside. So I would say short term, we could get a push down short term as a correction, and then if it goes down in a pattern, looking for a push, right? Maybe back to these highs. All right. We can also look at things like, obviously the channel breaking. The market broke the channel as such, right? We can also look at something like this, where the market has broken the channel. So we've bounced on the low, we have broken out of the channel, came back for the retest, price is going up. A correction, I'm looking for one more push towards the upside. So I think also Euro AUD, I think this is a good short-term setup. Yeah, I think this is a good short-term setup. There was a trade, I think this was yesterday, right? There was a trade somewhere here yesterday, because it's a clear break, retest. There was a trade here yesterday. Yeah. So let's see if we're gonna get another correction here. If not, this is just gonna fly. So we'll see on Thursday. We'll see how this is looking on Thursday. All right, so that is your, is it your favorite Euro AUD, your favorite there, Peter? All right, so let me go. So then we've got silver. Let's have, it's been a while since we spoke about silver. I think I have it down here. Okay, let's have a look at silver. All right. So what is silver doing now? Remember, guys, right? You see the commodities right now. The commodities and the energies market, they are very sensitive to the Middle East conflict, right? They are very sensitive. So anything, any post, whatever, it's gonna affect the commodities or the price of the commodities, right? So just be on the lookout for that, right? So that's why I tell you guys to always keep an eye on the Middle East conflict, right? So as you take a look at silver, so silver did not continue to go all the way up to this area. The last time we spoke, we said silver is most likely gonna go up to that area, right? So it was going nice, going well, and then it changed. From this area, it went down. And if you take a look at oil, when silver and gold was going down, oil started to pick up. Oil started to pick up. So maybe let me peep quickly to oil, then we'll come back to silver. Yeah, exactly. You see oil started to pick up, right? So that is that negative correlation that's happening here. Okay, so what's happening now? So now we are in this situation now. We're in this situation now. Right, this is where we are, right? So long term, this is still bullish long term, right? What it's doing right now is that it is correcting at the moment. So this whole move here, it is a correction, right? On the lower time frames, obviously it's trends and all of that, but it's a big correction. At some point, price is gonna go up at some point. We don't know when that will be, but at some point price is gonna go up. So now while we're still waiting for that, if nothing changes, you see now, if things remain the way they are in the Middle East, then we are likely gonna see silver visit this low again. If nothing changes, if there's no peace talks, if nothing changes, then we're likely gonna see silver coming back down here one more time, tapping this low again one more time, and then this is where we will then start to look for this, right, from that low. All right, but now if along the way there is peace talks and all of that, because what peace talks do is that the oil price is going to go down if there's going to be peace talks, right? And if they are successful, the oil price is going to go down and the commodities are going to go up. Your gold and silver is going to go up, right? So at the moment we see oil going up because there's still uncertainty in the Middle East. So therefore this is also putting a lot of pressure on the precious commodities. All right, so we will have to play it by ear. So if nothing changes, we're gonna see silver coming back down to this low, right? And then we'll take it from there. But if things change, then you're gonna see, we might see an up, silver going up. And this is gonna be the same with gold as well, right? So as we take a look at gold, let me open gold and see. Gold, we most probably gonna get something similar on gold as well, but I've already spotted a short-term move on gold. So let me open it. Right, so as you take a look at what gold is doing now, right, very simple, the same outlook as silver, right? We're in a bigger correction. So within this big correction, there is a short-term move I've identified, right, before any long-term movements. So this channel here, in fact, let me do this. Let me, yeah. So you see this low here, right? Price needs to break this low. Price needs to break this low here, right? Why am I saying price needs to break this low? Because of this lower high. Because of this lower high that formed from the previous high. So the formation of this lower high has created this channel. This channel here, right? Has created this channel. And now where is the low of the channel? The low of the channel is here. All right, so now it seems like what gold is doing, right, during this uncertainty, right, it seems like gold is gonna break this low. It's gonna break this low, right? Don't be surprised when you see this support break, guys, because it's a support here. We're gonna break this low, and we most likely gonna see gold coming back down here first before any movements towards the downside. We're likely going to see gold coming back down here first, right? So that is the short-term move I'm talking about. So definitely a continuation towards the downside. Either price is going to do this first before it drops, right? Either price is going to do this first before it drops, or it's going to drop from where it is. Because of what? Because of this pattern here. You see how it is? Yeah, so either we're going to go up here first before this drops, or it's gonna drop from where it is. So then it's up to you whether you want to capitalize on this short-term bullish move back to that high, or you want to wait for a continuation of this push, right? So that will be entirely up to you. So when you look at gold, right? When you look at gold and silver, yeah, they are likely gonna push down if nothing changes in the Middle East. Then there's gonna be a trading opportunity, right? So you might just want to wait for price to break out, retest, and then look for a push towards the downside. Gold is creating a correction here, right? It's creating a correction here. So it seems like it is gonna break this support here. So don't be surprised when you guys see gold breaking that support, right, to give us one more push down. All right, and oil, that means the oil market now, remember this target on oil, guys, this target on oil, right? That target has not changed. It has not changed. It definitely has not changed, right? So we're likely gonna see oil, this is WTI, going back to 114, around 11, between 112 and 114, 112 and 114. We're likely gonna see oil pushing back there, right? So this one is a very simple one. Just follow this trend here. Just follow this trend. So which means the commodities, we're anticipating them to push towards the downside. Yeah, so where were we? Silver, yeah, we were actually on silver. Yeah, silver, there we go. Can you analyze CAD now that there was CPI? There was CPI on the CAD. How did it come out? Let's see CPI, how it came out. 0.4%. This is month on month, from 0.7%. Let's see USD CAD, what it's doing. Yeah, I think this is the candle. Yeah, we can definitely see that the CAD lost strength, right? So the CPI data came out poor for the CAD, so the CAD lost strength here. So if you look at USD CAD, right, yeah, it's already on the top. It's already at the top. It's already at the top, right? I think short term, or not short term, but intraday is, you would want price to break this and just scalp this move, right? Upon the break, just scalp this move, because what I'm seeing here is that yes, it's bouncing there. So this bounce, you would look for a higher low to form. So meaning this current M15 candle, here, right, to create a higher low, wherever it's going to create a higher low, and then look to take this towards the upside, right? Yeah, waiting for, yeah, it seems like USD CAD is going to continue this push towards the upside. The effects of the CPI, yeah, it came very poor. It came out very poor for the CAD. All right. All right, we are running out of time, guys. I'm gonna try and just speed up and see. I'm gonna try and just see what's your input on pound yen. One of my favorite pairs, pound yen, right? The last time we spoke about pound yen, we spoke about it going up, right? It pushing towards the upside. So let's see what has happened. Yo, it's messy now. It's really messy. Let me go back to the daily. Let's see. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess now. It's a bit of a mess at the moment, but let's do this. It seems like GBP JPY needs to give us one more push, or let me stop saying needs to give us one more push up. It seems like there's a higher probability that we're gonna get one more push towards the upside. It's a bit messy, this one, because I'm also seeing that it's bouncing from these areas. It's a bit of a mess. Okay, so what I mean is, according to this structure here, right, this structure here, there's a higher probability that we're going to see GBP JPY going back to this high, right? That is roughly about 115 pips from where price is. Yeah, going back to that high there, which could also go all the way to that high, right? Which could also go all the way to that high, but I think short term to that high, right? And then from that high we'll then come back and see what has happened. But it's a bit of a mess at the moment. It's ranging. It's a bit of a mess. As long as we get these higher lows, as long as the market does not break these higher lows, then there's a high probability chance we're gonna go back to that high there, just as a short-term move. So it seems like there's a nice correction that's forming here. For one more push up, just a continuation towards the upside. Can you check gold from the support? So gold, we already spoke about gold. Let me quickly go back to it. So you see this support here, right? It doesn't seem like it's gonna reject this support, right? It seems like it's gonna break this support. But obviously we need to wait for it to break for us to then to get that confirmation, right? But I'm anticipating it to break the support and create a new low, right? It's trading within the structure at the moment. So we need one more push down, just one more push down on gold here. Then I think anybody looking for buys, this area would be a good area for some buys, but we just need one more push down. So it seems like it's gonna break the support. So keep an eye on that. So guys, it seems like we are not gonna have enough time to go through all of the pairs, right? But I think for me personally, my highlight for this session is the GBP NZD. GBP NZD is my highlight, right? GBP NZD, Euro AUD. But I think GBP NZD is a very good. I think this would be the chart of the session. I think that sounds good. Chart of the session. I think we must have these charts of the session. So I pick GBP NZD with all the charts we looked at, guys. I personally pick GBP NZD as my chart of the session. All right, chart of the session, meaning that this is the one I'm putting a spotlight on. Basically putting a spotlight on. I think it's a very good setup, right? Just need to wait for just a setup here and then continue this. But that's my chart of the session, guys. So those that I could not look at, let's maybe look at them on Thursday. All right, the ones I missed, I did not have a chance to look at. This coming Thursday, let's have a look at them, and then but I will get through all of them, don't worry. I can see Bitcoin is also there, same holding. Can you please update? So okay, so let's quickly go to Bitcoin. Right, so Bitcoin, I spoke about this on the what's this, the opening bell. I spoke about this on the opening bell. All right, I think it's yesterday's opening bell. I can't remember, might be yesterday, sometime last week, but I said that, you know, it's at the moment Bitcoin, whoa, the short-term move on Bitcoin we see at the moment, right, is this one where it is bouncing on that 61.8, 1561.8, right? So definitely we can see there is some selling that's happening. I'm not anticipating Bitcoin to go all the way down at the moment. I'm not anticipating that, right? However, there is a push towards the downside that we are getting now. So this area here, I think it's even close to it. Let me see the weekly. Aha, there we go. That is, yeah, that structure right there, that is around $74,000, right? Yeah, so I think Bitcoin is gonna, you see right now it's going down, right? It's gonna come back to $74,000, and then from that $74,000, I'm anticipating a continuation towards the upside. So I'm waiting for it to reach this zone here, anywhere around this zone, for me to start looking for a continuation towards the upside. All right, but for now, let's not speak about that push towards the upside. Let's maybe focus on this one for now. So that's $74,000. It seems like that's where Bitcoin is headed, and then from there we'll come back, right, and do analysis on this. Yeah, so this correction here, there's a correction forming, right? So once this correction is done, a continuation towards the downside. Once this correction is done, a continuation towards the downside. There, yeah, so that's how Bitcoin is looking short term. All right. Yeah, you are looking for a buy. Yeah, so if you're looking for a buy, like I said, if you're looking for a buy, let's maybe wait for this to go down just a little bit, and then from there we'll then, you know, look for this possibility. But for now, anticipating just a bit of a push down. Yeah, so that's how Bitcoin is looking. All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are ending it for today. Let's meet again on Thursday. We're gonna do the same thing. My chart of the session for the Tuesday session is the GBP NZD. That's my chart of the session. You can pick your own chart of the session, but yeah, this is definitely mine for the session. All right, on that note, have a good one, guys. Enjoy. Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to the channel, like and share, and we will catch you again on Thursday. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.